Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to make a kind of fragrance update. Now that I'm in Finland, obviously I could only bring a limited amount of fragrance. I brought all of my samples. My ambitious uh, idea was to use up all of my samples because I just felt like I have too many, I never use them, I will never go through them, and it just feels very cluttery. So I decided to use them up here, and I actually made a really nice progress. Like I only have a few left. I also have a fragrance that actually got um, how to say, like it got ruined. Like the juice is the juice changed and it smells bad now. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, if you are new here, please consider subscribing, check my other reviews, and let's jump in. So, the full bottles that I brought are um, Zara Red Temptation. This is a Baccarat Rouge tube. As you can see, used quite a lot of it. Like, I'm actually very surprised that this much already is gone. But obviously, in cold weather, this works very nicely. I still really like it. Now it's getting like warmer. It's getting to start to feel like actual spring. It's still kind of cold, but compared to winter time in Finland, spring is actually very nice, and I love going outside in this weather, taking long walks. It's really nice. I can wear my lighter jackets and coats. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Um, as I already mentioned, I bought a lot of Mistral by Lush, the solid perfume. This I still really like. It is more suitable for cold weather, but it's still quite cold. Like it's like yesterday it was like 12 degrees Celsius, which is I think the warmest that I ever experienced in Finland since I'm here. So I can definitely still use this. What I don't like about it is the color. Like this is a very pigmented kind of waxy material, and if you are not careful, you can leave green marks on your skin. Like you really have to check in the mirror when you like kind of put it on that you smooth it out evenly so it doesn't look green on your skin, which is kind of annoying. Like why can't you just make it like uncolored? I don't know. But other than that, I really love this one. I actually tried the sprayer recently in the store, and yeah, they are very similar, but I actually prefer this one. Lash cosmetics are handmade, so I can imagine that sometimes, it can be a little different depending on the batch that they release, because it's handmade. You put one drop more essential oil and suddenly it's a little bit different, so definitely test it out. But I highly recommend this one. This is very affordable. This is 6 grams, but it looks like a tiny amount, but it's actually very um, I mean it you can use it for a long time. Like I've been using it quite generously and still there is so much left. uh, it's not like it's much more concentrated than using a fragrance mist, so you can't really compare the amount, because this amount of fragrance would, I mean, the liquid fragrance would run out really quick, but in solid form it actually lasts quite a long time. So another fragrance that I brought with me is Dior Hypnotic Poison. I talked about it a little bit on my channel. This is a really nice almond vanilla fragrance. For me, this is unisex. I absolutely love wearing this. That being said, I'm really like sparing with this one, which I shouldn't be, because I have 20 ml, which is a lot, and still I find myself only reaching for it when I have like a special, like if I go to the museum or something. Like I feel like I need to like keep it for something more like special, I mean, going to a museum is not that special, but I won't necessarily wear it if I go to a supermarket or something. But actually, you shouldn't really hold on to fragrances, and that brings to my next point, which is the fragrance that got spoiled. Uh, Rich Form Addictive by Zara. If you know my channel, you know this fragrance. I talk about this a lot. This was a very nice tobacco, rum, coffee, vanilla scent. I absolutely used to love it, and something happened with it, and it kind of now kind of reminds me of spoiled milk or spoiled coffee. So I guess it got turned, but yeah, I'm really sorry about this because I still had half of the amount left, as you can see maybe. Uh, so I still had 50 ml, and I only bought it like 1 year ago, so it's not an old bottle. I don't understand. Like, I think I stored it correctly. Maybe I should store them in an even darker space. I'm not sure. But I'm super disappointed that I can't use this anymore because in the opening it's not bad, but when it gets to the middle, I can smell this spoiled quality, which is really unpleasant. And yeah, fortunately, this wasn't expensive, so it's not like a huge financial, you know, crisis or something, but still, I'm sad because I love this fragrance and now I can't use it anymore. So that's why you shouldn't keep fragrances, for special occasions or something because they will get spoiled. I mean, this shouldn't spoil this quick. I know that some fragrances should be fine even after 5 or even 10 years if you store them correctly. So I'm not sure what happened with this one, but I definitely it was a wake up call to actually use whatever you want whenever you want because who knows, maybe at some point it will just spoil and then it's over, you can't use it, and that's the real waste of money. So yeah, these were my full bottles. And I have some fragrance samples here that I want to kind of use up still in this weather where it's in the beginning of spring, so it's not that warm yet. I don't think it will warm up really quick because um, it's still snowy outside sometimes, so yeah, I'm not worried about like hot weather. I don't think it ever gets hot in Finland, but still, I don't want to wear heavy fragrances at the end of spring, like I want to kind of use them up now. So uh, I got I got the Louvre uh, Solo Cedro. This is a beautiful cedar scent, um, very realistic, a little bit buttery in a way, but I usually don't like cedar in fragrances, but this is such a high quality cedar. Like, this smells beautiful, so that's how you know if even I don't like a note, but I like it in a fragrance, that's how you know that maybe it wasn't about the note, it was the quality in other fragrances that you tried that you disliked. So definitely suggest you to try high quality fragrances with the notes that you might not really like now, but you might actually start liking it if it's in a different arrangements. So yeah, this is very nice. I think it's perfect for this weather, like beginning of spring, um, kind of cold but kind of warming up. It will be very nice. I also have like maybe two pairs of Versace Eros. I just have this tiny sample. I had this for the longest time and I still not over it. Like, I don't use it often. I don't know if it's because it's so small and I don't want to run out of it, or because I don't gravitate towards the scent. I like the scent, but still I don't find myself reaching for it very often. I was thinking about buying the full size bottle, like at least maybe 50 ml, but I'm not sure if I will use it very often. And I'm also like kind of trying to be real with myself. Do I want to buy this because I like the scent, or I just love the packaging? Because the packaging is I think it's one of the best looking perfume bottles on the world. Like, for men uh, Versace Eros bottle is just very nice. So I'm not sure I will buy a full bottle of it, but it's definitely a nice scent. I can see why it's popular, and I really like it. And again, it's perfect for this transition weather. So I'm excited to pull this up, pull this out. Uh, Another one is, what is this? Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Prada Luna Rossa DEDT. I'm not a huge fan of the Prada Luna Rossa line, uh, but it's pleasant. It's nice. It's not really me. It's a little bit like a barbershop scent. It's a little bit blue. It's like a dark freshness to it. It's nice. Uh, Also a little bit spicy. It's very nice, but it's just not really my style. I still will use it, but yeah, I think it's great for this transition weather, but I wouldn't purchase a full bottle. Then again, Montal Intense Cafe. I feel like I should have worn Montal Intense Cafe more in the cold weather because now it's getting warmer and I feel like this works the best in cold. But I think we will still have cold days when I can absolutely use this and pull this out. So I'm happy, especially because this I can't use this anymore. And in a way, they are in the similar branch of fragrances. So yeah, Montal Intense Cafe, absolutely beautiful, strong, very nice quality fragrance. Unisex, you should try it. It's very good. It's like probably if you are into fragrance, you already know about this one, and I do recommend it. Okay, so now let's jump to the fragrances that I'm waiting to wear, because now I've been wearing like heavier, woodier, spicier, or vanilla, like darker fragrances for a very long time, like since basically like October or something. That's all you can wear, and here it's even longer because the real spring only starts I think later, like it's still quite chilly. So I've been wearing darker fragrances, winter fragrances for a long time, and now I can see how I'm craving different type of freshies like florals, fruity fragrances, citrusy fragrances, lighter fragrances. Like it's been just too long and I crave something different. So these are the fragrances that I cannot wait to wear. Um, I actually want to buy a full bottle of this one. Moschino, I love love. This is a female marketed, but I think absolutely unisex. Orange fragrance, orange mandarin, very nice, citrusy, fresh. It's just super pleasant. It's not too sweet. It's very refreshing. It's very bright, joyful. Absolutely love this one. I think it's perfect for summer for both men and women. Definitely recommend it. It's very affordable. On the other hand, there is Versace Man of Fresh. Versace Man of Fresh, as you can see, I just have a mini of both of these. They are similar, but as this one is leaning more towards orange, this one on the other hand is more lemony to my nose, and they are both beautiful. I love both of them. I can't wait to wear this one. As you can see, I still have quite a lot in this one. I bought it in the like end of warm weather, so I couldn't really wear this last year, but I can't wait to pull this out this season. uh, I would love to have both of them because they are really nice fragrances, but as I checked discounter sites, 100 ml of Moschino is the same price as 30 ml of Versace. So I do prefer the orange version anyway, and it's much cheaper, so I'm gonna go for the Moschino. Even though the bottle is much cooler for the Versace one, but we need to stop buying fragrance for the bottles. I said it. This bottle, this is actually kind of cute, but the real like full presentation is super ugly. Like it looks very tacky and cheap. But what can you do? The scent is amazing, so I'm gonna go for the Moschino one. Versace is still very nice, but unless I see a very good discount, I just can't justify having both of these, and this is much cheaper. So uh, another fragrance that is this Montale Wild Pears. As you can see, I'm really gravitating towards fruity scents. Like I just had enough of the heavy, woody, spicy, or green, or like sweet fragrances. Like I had it with them. I wore them for like 6 months now. I'm just ready to move on to something more bright and fruity. Um, yeah, I think for me, summer and like warmer weather is my kind of fresh. My type of fresh fragrance is fruity fresh, like apple, citrus, pear, that kind of stuff. I'm not really. I mean, there are some nice florals, but if I have to choose, I will choose fruity over floral because, and definitely, I would choose fruity over aquatic because I'm just not a huge fan of aquatic fragrances. Like they don't really work on me. I mean, they work on me, but I don't prefer those. Like that's just my personal preference. So yeah, this is a very bright fragrance. But if you are looking for a lasting pear scent, I don't recommend this one because the pear only is only on the in the opening. It's very beautiful, realistic pear in the opening, but after that it kind of disappears and it turns into a kind of musky, uh, quite clean, but also a little bit like vanillic fragrance. And yeah, I do miss the pear from the dry down. I know that like mostly the fruity scents disappear after the opening in every fragrance, but I do wish it was a little bit more prominent because it's called wild pears, so I would expect to have a pear scent throughout the entire bear, you know. But it's still very nice and very pleasant. I recommend it. Um, but I would not buy a full bottle because it's just not really doing it for me without the pear in the dry down. Another one that I really miss is Toy Boy. I have the 100 ml at home, but for this travel or for this semester, I only brought this tiny decant. Uh, Toy Boy is a spicy rose fragrance, very unique, very nice. It's quite fresh, and I just really miss this fragrance. Like I only have like this amount, which is enough for like one wear or something. So yeah, I miss this one because I really love this fragrance. This was one of my first fragrances in my collection, my third fragrance actually, that I when I really started to get into fragrance, and I still love this. Um, and yeah, I really highly recommend. You can find it for very cheap sometimes, not even just on discounters, but also if you are in Europe, Notino, uh, I always see it going up and down in price range, so I definitely wait when it goes down. I remember I bought my 100 ml for around like 40 bucks or less, 35 or something, which was a still like, I remember it wasn't that popular then, at least in my country, so I could snag it up for really cheap. But then it got quite popular or something because the price was suddenly like the twice of it, like 60 bucks or something. So definitely wait for the price to go down because it does go down. But yeah, it's amazing for the not just for the price. It's amazing. Period. Like it will be great even as a niche scent or something. Like it's worth every money. But I'm not saying you should pay too much for it because I mean it's still Moschino. Those fragrances get cheap quite quick after they are released. So just wait for it to go down. But it's very nice. Toy Boy by Moschino, one of my favorite fragrances. The last one here is Byredo Gypsy Water. This is a very beautiful scent composition. I absolutely adore this. Um, in the opening and in the middle. In the dry down, it's kind of basic, and also it has a terrible performance. Um, Both projection and longevity is really bad. So I will not purchase a full bottle just because it's not worth it for the money. It's very expensive and the performance is not there. I actually have the same complaint about most of Byredo fragrances. Like I have this, we have this department store here, and they have a Byredo counter, and I always pop in there and check out Byredo fragrances, but half of them I actually dislike the way they smell. Like I think they are just kind of weird, and the other half is nice, but they are very bad. They have very bad performance. So for the high price tag that they have, I don't recommend. But if you have the money and you really fall in love with one of them, why not? My favorite, I think, is still Gypsy Water, but I just kind of have mixed feelings about this brand. I don't know. I think it's kind of a ripoff because if you have this price range, you should just kind of have better quality, like use more fragrance oil. Like it's not that difficult, I think, especially if you have this much income from the sales. So yeah, so I think that was it for today. Oh, one more thing, I also got this is like a hydrating body spray thingy from Jaya. Jaya is like a Polish skincare brand. I use some of their products. They have very nice shower gels. They have sometimes huge sales. When I remember I had this happy hour sale where I got so many products for 50% off. It was just for 1 hour at one day, and I was very lucky to stock up from a lot of their products. Even though I'm kind of considering changing skincare because they are hydrating, they are okay, but I don't really feel like they are doing anything to me. Like my skin on my face is it's not that problematic, but sometimes it's very like patchy and stuff, and I don't feel like these products are doing anything. But I also know that sometimes my diet is kind of bad, especially since I'm here. Sometimes I eat a lot of fast food, which I never did before. Um, in Hungary, I was actually kind of like a health freak. Okay, not really, but I really tried harder to maintain a healthy diet and stuff. And here, it's a little bit harder because um, I don't know. I think everything is just more expensive, even though there are these university restaurants or more like a cafe. I'm not sure. It's called Uni Cafe, and you can eat healthy food for very affordable, which I love. I always go there, but I don't know. I guess just lazy a little bit. So yeah, I got a little definitely more breakout on my face and everything, but so all I'm saying is I'm not blaming the brand entirely because I know what that is also depends on me, how much water I drink, what kind of food I eat and stuff. But I feel like I'm just ready to try something new, and I saw that they sell the Ordinary here, which is like this very nice and kind of affordable but still effective fragrance brand that I see, not fragrance, skincare brand that I see a lot of people recommend online. So I might try the product range, but I still like Jaya. I think it's a very nice brand, but their products could be a little bit more effective, I think. Like they are doing something, but maybe it could be better. So I'm just kind of want to try new things and see how it goes. And yeah, no, anyway, so I'm rambling so much, but this is like the mango fresh scent body spray thing. I usually just it's also hydrating. It's very faint and light. It doesn't really uh, stay on the skin. Like after 1 hour, it's probably not even there anymore. What I usually do is when I don't at night when I don't want to put like some heavy something on my neck, but I still want some hydration. I just kind of spray it over, it has a nice scent, but well, I don't recommend. It was very cheap, but you know, it's not a good fragrance. I mean, it's not lasting. It's not. I just bought it because why not? It doesn't really do much to your skin. It doesn't really do much fragrance wise. It's just a little something before bed that I put on and enjoy the scent until I fall asleep. But I wouldn't really wear it outside. Maybe I would if I just ran to the shop or something like a shop nearby. But I wouldn't just use it for a full day or something because I would have to reapply it all the time. Like I already used half of it. Um, it's just one of those random purchases that I don't know why I did, but they are not bad, but also they are nothing spectacular. I just have it, so I thought I will show it. But yeah, that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what fragrances are you going to pull out now that the spring is coming, and I assume that in your country it's also getting warmer. Um, oh, one more thing. I want to mention that not tried, but I wore Gucci Guilty Absolute and Kenzo Jungle Elephant a lot. I had two samples. I wear them in extremely cold weather and they work so nicely. Like I really recommend these two fragrances. I think they are both um, a little bit masculine leaning, even though the Kenzo one is marketed towards women. I recommend both of them. They are both very heavy and strong, and they were absolutely amazing in cold weather. Like, I actually consider buying them because they work so nicely in cold weather. Like, cold weather tends to like make your fragrance disappear, but these just easily punched through the cold, and somehow this cold atmosphere they work so well together. Like if you try them in a warm climate, they will be too much. But if you live in a climate where it's cold, it's very cold most of the year, or not most of the year, but you have cold winters and kind of cold autumn and spring, just like Finland or I guess Canada, or like northern Russia. I can imagine is similar. Definitely recommend these two fragrances: Gucci Guilty Absolute, Kenzo Jungle Elephant. They are very nice. The Gucci one is very heavy patchouli scent, and the Kenzo one is a very spicy fragrance. And I remember I was walking in like pine forest and stuff, and I was wearing like Kenzo, and it was so it matched the atmosphere so well. It suits that cold, foresty atmosphere. Absolutely amazing. I really like them. The only thing why I'm kind of ambivalent about buying them is because when I go back to Hungary, which, well, in Hungary it gets cold in winter, but not as cold as in Finland. So I'm not sure I could really have a good use of them. I would probably have like a few weeks when I can wear them because it's cold enough, and otherwise they are kind of glowing and heavy. So I'm not sure yet, but definitely recommend them if you live in a cold climate. And yeah, that was it. That was all. That was my little fragrance update for Finland since I'm here. Um, I'm trying to not buy fragrances now. Like, you know how satisfying it is when you kind of run out of the samples and you use up the fragrances you have. Like, this is very satisfying for me because sometimes I feel guilty for having so many fragrances, especially when they actually get spoiled because I don't use them up. But I do think this is not my fault. Like, I bought it 1 year ago. I wore it a lot. I wore half of it. I I mean, you can't even use it up even if you have one fragrance. I'm not even sure you could. Okay, you could probably use it up in 1 year, but I don't think it's okay to go bad after 1 year. Like some people, like my parents, they only wear it for like special occasions, or they don't wear it every day. And for a person like that, 1 year is not enough to use up 100 ml, and to get it spoiled after 1 year. I think that's I don't try to like maybe I stored it improperly, but it was in my room. It wasn't in the dark, but it wasn't touching, it wasn't in connection with um, in contact with direct sunlight either, so I don't think it was a very bad place for it. Still, it got ruined, so I'm not sure. But definitely, I try to avoid things like this in the future, so I try to store them in a darker space and just do my part because I have a lot and I have to not, I don't want to waste them, I don't want to throw them away, so I want to use them up before they get spoiled. And I recommend you to also, if you have a lot of fragrance samples like I used to have, it feels nice to have variety, but don't underestimate that amount of fragrance in your samples. That's a huge amount to go through. Like, yes, I wore my full bottles too here, but since I'm here for like 2 months, about 2 months, I still couldn't go through all my samples. Like, that amount is more than you would first think it is, and it's not easy to go through them, um, because like one tiny little sample, it's probably enough for 2 or 3 days at least. And when you have a lot, it just builds up and you never get through them. So this is my friendly advice for you. Try to try to low buy and just use the variety that you already have in your collection. Let it be uh, bottles or samples or anything, because I think it's very easy to get carried away and buy new stuff and try new stuff. And sometimes even buying samples feels like a more ethical thing to do, because because it's small and you're just trying it and you don't buy a full bottle. But even the small samples can be excessive and they can be kind of mindless in a way after you bought so much and you just don't use them. So yeah, that's my friendly advice, to use what you already have, and when you can choose some, you can buy new ones. But yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you are not already. If you are still watching, you are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sticking around, for being here, for supporting my small channel. And we just recently hit 400 subscribers, which I'm really proud of. Like in like YouTube terms, it's not a lot of people, but if you think about 400 people in a room and you have to talk in front of them, that would be a absolutely terrifying experience. Like 400 people is a lot of people, and I just feel very nice knowing that so many people actually liked my videos and my content enough to click the subscribe button. That was just a very nice thing to realize. So thank you again, and please have a nice day and see you next time.